So welcome everybody to this week's video blog. You can't do a course walk, so let's do a little ecology one for you and see what we've got out there. So Effingham Golf Club, built over 264 acres on the North Downs and facing north and reaching heights of 500 feet above sea level. The course sitting mainly on chalk, which was once a seabed made up of dead plankton, which formed the calcium, which is now the chalk layer the course is built on. 65 million years ago, this seabed arose, forming what we see today, consisting of the North and South Downs. The Downs reach heights of almost 900 feet, and the North Downs, which we're on, are stretching from Farnham, from the Hog's Back to Dover. Evidence of man living on the Downs can be traced back 400,000 years, as flints have been found near Swancombe and Albury. 3000 BC, the Neolithic culture arrived and the hunter-gatherer established on the Downs building dwellings. Due to the nature of the chalk, the Downs produce some very interesting and sometimes rare flora. Chalk has a very alkaline pH, which means a poor, fertile soil, not the best for farming and crop production, but it's fertile enough to sustain many grass species, which the Downs are renowned for, especially the fescues, more so on the South Downs. Originally, the North Downs would have been forested, but man over the centuries removed much of this, converted the hills to farming, but as the crops were poor, as we talked about, it resorted back to the woodland we see today. Coal was discovered on the Downs in 1911, and so the Kent coalfield was born near Canterbury and produced coal until 1936. Oil was also discovered in Surrey, but the wells were not sustainable and they soon closed down. So the Downs have produced a massive amount of flora, which luckily we have many examples here. We've had an audit done by Surrey Wildlife over the years, and they've confirmed over 200 species of flora. I won't go all through it. It would get a bit boring to read, but it's still pretty impressive what we can hold on this small piece of land. So let's now go on to a bit of our meadowlands, and we'll talk about what we've got out there currently. So moving on to some of our meadow areas, we're lucky here that we have a resident ecologist almost. This is Harry Eve, pops up and takes photographs and is very fascinated by our areas. This is a Metallica moth taken on a scabia he took recently, and this is a very small, very early stage shield bug taken by the clubhouse, which will turn into this eventually towards the end of the summer. We support many flowers, of course. We have hawksbeard. We have a good covering of that at the bottom of our roughs at the moment. We have the wild parsnips. They're fairly tall at the moment with this yellow flower, very distinctive in the rough, of course. Buttercups, we've got a lot of yellow flowering plants down on the meadows at the moment. This is the buttercups. Wild marjoram, plenty of that this year, abundance of it, fantastic for the bees, covered in bees. Bird's foot trefoils, of course, very pretty little plant when you get down close and have a look at it. Wild mignonette, good clumps of this. There's a clumpy plant, plenty of this around. Our early plants are cowslips. Our meadows are covered in the spring with the cowslips. Real good display of those we have. We have wild carrots, plenty of wild carrot species. We have the parsleys. We obviously have the wild carrots. We have the large parsleys, the lower parsleys, of course, the elders. It's a very prolific plant here at the moment. Broom rape, this is. A few broom rapes up there, parasitic plant, of course. The cornflower, they're mainly planted by us, but they seem to be doing okay at the moment. And betony, we have a good spread of betony around, of course, in places when you have a look. Our meadows have been very good this year. This is a bee in the yard. This is by the sheds. This is a bee on knapweed. Bumblebees do like knapweed, and if you have a look at our knapweeds at the moment, you'll see them covered in bumblebees. Butterfly on a bit of knapweed that's gone over. This is two in the yard. This is either a large white or it could be a brimstone. I know we've got some people in the club who are really into their butterflies, and I'm sure they'll correct me on this one, but still lovely to see, being busy, just getting some nectar out of these plants, even though they're going over. The common blue, we have that. Seen that down by the clubhouse a little bit. Early on in the year, we had plenty of peacocks around, and we started lockdown. We had brimstones. We were covered in the brimstones. And marble whites, you'll see some marble whites out there now, and we're just starting to see our first cinnabar moths now from obviously the cinnabar catalogue caterpillar, which is found on the ragwort. Darren's been taking pictures, and this is the scabia, large scabia bee, minor bee. We're looking desperately for a small one, which is very rare. We do know they're here. Going on to orchids, we have the large leaf hellebore. Of course, the bee orchid, plenty of those, and we have the white flower hellebores as well, which you'll find under the beech trees early on in the year. We also have the pyramidal orchids, of course, very common orchids, and plenty of those with a marble butterfly on it. Our grasses, we support, say, 16 species of grasses. This is the bent grass. You'll see down by the clubhouse the short purple grass. This is creeping bent, and of course we have plenty of other species, as I've said, 16 of them in all. Reptiles, we've got slow worms, good population of slow worms. Grass snakes, this is up by on the path at the second tee. We find those, and of course we have the common lizard, which you'll see in the bunkers on a hot day if you're lucky enough. And missile thrushes down by the 18th. Nice family of those this year. Hope you found that interesting, very short. Some pictures here from Kevin Hall, a member, some of you will know him, goes out and takes the most stunning pictures with his faithful little mate Gracie trotting behind him. Yeah, what can you say about these pictures? Absolutely stunning, showing the golf course off in its best. Hope you enjoyed that, and hopefully next year we can get a nice course walk in and do it in a little bit more detail than what we've just done now. Take care, everybody.